Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I just wanted to do a quick life update and address some of the stuff that's going on in my province right now that you might have heard of. I've been swamped. I've been doing a lot of stuff working on like the bridal release, and also different product releases are in the works and just getting everything out. And obviously like with a new business and also with my own prototype bridal, there's a learning curve for both me and my production company. So there's been some bumps in the road, but it's all being handled and it's all starting to go more smoothly as we continue production, and we're bringing stuff in time for Christmas. But organizing everything for like the Christmas rush and like Black Friday and all that stuff, very stressful, especially when I'm training clients on top of that. Now, the other thing that is added to the stress is the fact that I don't know if you should look it up if you don't know the situation at all, because you'll see lots of photos and it'll give you like a really good context. But basically, we had provincial-wide flooding here in British Columbia due to a massive rainstorm that gave us like 2 months worth of rain basically overnight. It was like 150 millimeters, which is 6 inches, and some areas even got more than that. So it resulted in massive floodings. People's houses were underwater, their cars, roads were flooded out here. Our arena went underwater. There was multiple roads nearby my house that I couldn't access or get through because there was so much water. And yeah, just insane. I've never seen anything like it in my life. And the really badly affected areas in like the Sumas Prairie, which is where there used to be a lake that they drained and then put farmland on. Yes, bad idea. Anyways, that area has flooded immensely. The clinic that I took Banksy to get gelded, if you haven't watched that video, you can go check it out. I linked it in the description. The clinic that is featured in some of the clips from there is literally underwater. I'll include a photo of the clinic like right here. And like I said, it's literally underwater. Like the entire first floor of the office part is underwater. Like their whole clinic's underwater. They haven't been able to get all of their equipment. I think they were able to rescue some of the x-ray equipment. And then also they had to evacuate a ton of cows because it's a breeding facility for cows as well. It's called WestGen, and they also store like a bunch of semen for both cows and horses. So disaster, lots of really expensive stuff, and it was like a beautiful clinic that they got built not that long ago. I feel really bad for everyone involved, and also people are losing their houses. Farmers are losing like their entire herds of cattle if they aren't able to evacuate them, or just some of them. Takes a toll. Their entire land, barns, hay storage, everything could be underwater if they didn't have time to rescue it, which a lot of people didn't, because there wasn't really any warning, despite the fact that something similar happened 30 years ago. We didn't get an emergency warning, in my opinion, in the way I think that we should have, especially the people in the really flood prone areas, because there would have been enough time for them to prepare, and especially people with animals, move them to high ground and make sure it's going to be safe. So anyways, the reason why this stuff is such a problem too is that it took out a bunch of major highways that like the numerous parts of like Highway 1 and highways going up north into BC, and those are really big, first of all, commuting for people, but also truck routes for deliveries and whatnot. And there are huge sections of the highway in multiple areas that are completely destroyed and will cost a lot of money to fix. And it's also a mountain highway, so the weather through the winter is already unpredictable and not very good conditions to fix a road in. So the highway being down means that there's only one real route out to like towards Alberta, because you have to go down through the states and around, because so much of the highway is down. And like oh my god. So anyways, it's gonna take like an insane amount of time to fix. It's not happening anytime soon. Some of the clients that I have that came from up that way can't get home because the horses can't get hauled home. So they're here for the foreseeable future while we kind of see how this pans out and what's gonna happen. So any horses that I had that are in the affected areas where the highway is down cannot go home, even if they were planning to before. Frustrating for the owners for sure if they wanted them back, and also the owners can't come down and visit them unless they fly in, because you can't drive on so many parts of the highway. It's insane. I literally had like it didn't even cross my mind when we got the rainfall warning. It was just a rainfall warning. It said that there is going to be heavy periods of rain. It didn't really mention anything about dangers to life level flooding and like deep floods like they had in the Sumas Prairie, which I think it should have, especially after the first day, because again, like since it was an old lake, the pumps that they have that keep it at bay and try to minimize the floodwaters from rising too much can't keep up with that level of rain, and it put a lot of people at risk and probably cause more damage than there would have been if people had been warned or if they'd prepared for this type of thing a little bit better. The other thing is, like, with the fish populations, there is some pretty crazy shit with fish ending up everywhere because of the floodwaters rising so much they would be affecting areas like people's houses, roadways that are more city and not normal salmon crossing routes. I've heard, like, even parking lots of, like, stores and stuff have gotten so much flooding that fish have ended up in the parking lots. And then on top of that, the floodwaters are dirty, so it's not good for the fish and they're probably not going to survive. But also, as it drains, they're not going to survive because they're not going to go back to the right area. So for spawning and stuff, very, very bad. I have a video of when I was driving home on Monday, which was the day where there is the heaviest period of rainfall, but it rained all day Sunday and overnight very heavily too. Anyways, when I was driving home from my boyfriend's house, there was flooding on the roads, and it wasn't flooding that was deep enough to stop me from getting through in my truck. But there was one point where I was driving and, like, I saw ahead of me, I could have sworn what I saw, like a fish flopping across the road, and I was like, what the hell? And anyways, I pulled over to have a look and I took a video of that too, so I'll include that in the next slide too, because it was insane. And also I'll include some other photos of flooding that I saw as I was driving around trying to get around and do things during this time. Okay, so like there, and then fucking check out this shit, guys. So check this out. Let's see if there's any fish out still, because I shit you not, there is a fucking fish literally flopping across the road, and it was a big one too. Probably a salmon. But, like, isn't this ridiculous? Send help. Like, I literally need a fucking kayak to get home. What is this shit? And it's still going. Well, we missed the... Oh, there he is! Did you guys see that? That was the fucking fish. Can you imagine if I just caught a fish right now? Yeah. So... Oh my god, there he is! He's trying to get over. Guys, we're watching science happen. Let's watch. Oh my god! What the fuck, guys? Ah! Holy shit. I'm literally watching science happen. What the fuck? Can you imagine, as a fish, having a concern be getting hit by a car when you're just trying to cross? Because that's what these guys are dealing with now. This is the ditches, just totally flooded over. Check, what the fuck? Guys, what the f? There's literally a river on the road. So, this is what we're fucking dealing with, boys and girls and days of them. This is what we're dealing with.
Just a typical Canadian winter. No big. Oh my god.
Don't make me fall. Okay, good dog. Good girl, don't freak out.
Good girl, Phoebe.
Don't drop.
Oh my god.
Good girl. Okay, now we just need to get back.
We're doing horse chores a little bit differently today.
So anyways, a lot of people don't have access to, like, clean water. They have to boil their water or their pipes are turned off, and they don't have a lot of options. Some people are still stranded in their homes. People were caught in mudslides when the highways fell apart. There's lots and lots of damage and lots of people suffering, and it's gonna be a very big hit to everybody in terms of, like, the economic hit that this is gonna have, and also people's ability to repair their businesses, their homes, their livelihoods, and the fact that a lot of them probably lost absolutely irreplaceable things. So not good. Really, really sad. And scary because I don't feel comfortable with it. It doesn't really bode well for the future, in my opinion. And yeah, it was just unexpected and scary. I feel bad for people that were affected. I'll include some links on areas people can donate if they're interested. I know the Canadian Red Cross is taking donations for the floods, and then there's also a few others that I'll include there. Yeah, so it's not a good situation. It's pretty serious. It's gonna cost like billions of dollars to fix. People are still actively being affected by the floods. The floodwaters on Sumas Prairie were still rising as of today. Tomorrow it's not supposed to rain, but then we're supposed to get like a full week of rain and lots of it. So yeah, it's not good, and I literally have not the faintest clue when the highways are going to be fixed, and it means that like we can't go anywhere in the interior and people can't come here. So it makes travel hard, and it also means that like anything we had delivered by truck is gonna definitely be delayed or rerouted, and prices might go up as a result if they have to do more expensive shipping options. So yeah, we were very lucky, despite the fact that roads really close by to me completely flooded out, and some houses really close by to me flooded like up to their halfway up their front doors or more, and lots of people's barns flooded too. Despite all of that, like we were really lucky. Like my yard flooded, but the horses area stayed really dry, surprisingly. We redid the footing and it held up really well, and it stayed like way more dry than what you would expect given the circumstances. And we were lucky because we didn't have major flooding issues in our property where like the barns were flooding or the horses' stalls were flooding like chest deep and stuff like some other areas. And we didn't have damage to hay. But what I am concerned about for the horses is the fact that since all the highways are closed, realistically like the only way we can get hay is from the US, and a lot of our hay came from the interior and Alberta. And it means that we're gonna have to find new suppliers, and there's potentially gonna be shortages too. And it can cause huge shortages from the standpoint of people losing their storage of hay and having to buy new hay. And I'm also really concerned for all the horses that are going to be impacted by this, because we were already facing a hay shortage due to the drought over the summer, which was insane, and that's part of the reason why these floods are so bad right now. So yeah, we were already facing a hay shortage due to the drought because the amount of hay that got cut was significant. The yield was significantly smaller due to forest fires and drought killing the grass, and also just less grass growing because of all these factors. So they didn't get as many cuts as they typically would, and the cuts they did get were smaller. So we were already facing a hay shortage, and it's like a problem for like the entire like west side of both Canada and the US as far as I know, because I know a lot of farmers that grew hay in Montana were affected by fires as well, and same with Washington. So I'm really concerned about getting them hay and having a consistent supply of hay, and also like the prices of hay. I think they're going to skyrocket because people have lost a lot of things, and people are going to be trying to replace and recover. And also people are going to be desperate, so the demand is going to be through the roof. So I am concerned about that, but I have a few hay guys that I have been getting hay consistently from, so I'm hoping that it'll continue that way. And at least if spring rolls around, if there's a hay shortage before the fields start getting cut again, at least then I can hopefully find my horses another grass area to go out on, worst case scenario, if it's hard to get hay. And then hopefully over the summer we don't continue having these drought issues, because if this keeps happening, it's going to be such a big problem, and it's like putting people out of business and just really devastating on so many levels for everybody, and a lot more serious than what people probably expected when we got the rainfall warning on, I think it was Friday. So yeah, that is a quick life update. Because of stuff like that and just setting up my business and having so much on my plate that I just like, it's like wearing too many hats. I'm running like a chicken with my head cut off. That's kind of why I haven't been posting as much. It's been hard to get like motivated to actually film and do stuff because I've been so busy. I haven't really been working with my own horses much. I've been focusing on clients and stuff because everything is just too much right now, so I needed a break. And I'll try to get back to regular posting sometime soon and start doing some more update videos because I have a lot of updates to give. I'm hoping things are going to settle down over the coming weeks, like for me work-wise, and also I hope that stuff with the flooding and whatnot starts this to get resolved, but I don't think it's gonna happen that fast. So yeah, I'm hoping for the new year it'll be like new year, new me, and I can start posting more regularly and doing that. So yeah, that's kind of why I've been MIA. I've been posting on Instagram and TikTok more, but I'm just not getting like content of me working with the horses filmed as much because I don't have anyone to film, and I'm also like not feeling up to like editing stuff and doing that and like arranging days and having like a plan of what to film and so on and so forth. It's too much right now, so I need a break. Yeah, anyways, I'll leave information in my description for anyone that wants to like read up more on what's going on. Also, my store has new merch dropped for Christmas. This is Milo and it says "Let It Snow." Yeah, we have a lot of cute Christmas sweaters and some new sweaters that I added to the store that I just personally think are funny. I made them mostly for myself. I'll include some photos of my new designs and some of the Christmas designs in a little slide at the end. Yeah, check it out. They make nice Christmas gifts or just a gift for treating yourself or holiday gifts for friends and so on and so forth, and you'd be shopping small and supporting a small business. Also, we will be restocking my bridles before Christmas, so stay tuned for the release of that because they will be available to order again sometime in the near future, like beginning-ish of December. Once we get closer to that, I can announce a drop date for when they'll be back in stock, and then after that we're not going to be restocking them until after Christmas in the new year. So yeah, just check that out. You can check out my website. We have saddle pads that are still in stock, and we'll also be releasing some really cool and fun Christmas saddle pads that you should all check out as well. They make fun gifts. We also have some saddle pads on super sale because we're discontinuing the colors. So if you're looking for saddle pads, or if you want to get someone a present and they like saddle pads, check that out. And thank you so much again for supporting my business and my channel, and I promise I'll be back with a vengeance sometime when I'm feeling like it. Thank you.